Earlier we had seen that the X and Y chromosomes, that is the sex chromosomes, determine whether the individual would be a male or a female. But in nature we do have a special arrangement of sex determination where the entire chromosome set decides whether the organism would be male or female, and that is seen in honeybees. Honeybees have a colonial life, you know that, right? How many types of honeybees are there, if you can recall? If you know and recall, one is the queen bee, that certainly would be a female. Then we had worker bees, which are of course female, and then we have drones, which are the males. So we have a female, we have a female, and here lies the male, right? This is what is the composition of a bee swarm that is visible. They are social insects, they don't stay alone. We have these three types of honeybees. Now the honeybees have a sex determination mechanism which is known as haplodiploid sex determination. What does haplodiploid sex determination mean? That whether the individual is, whether the insect is haploid or diploid determines its character as a male and a female. Okay. Now this queen and worker, they are diploid. So all those bees which have diploid set of chromosomes are females, and the drones are generated parthenogenetically by mitosis, and they are not diploid, they are haploid. So whichever bees in the bee net that you see, if they are haploid they will be drones, if they are diploid they would be females. One of them would be queen feeding on the royal jelly, and the remaining would be workers. Now the worker bees and the queen are formed by, certainly as I told you, this would be parthenogenesis, but this involves sexual reproduction where there is gametogenesis and fertilization. Now how it takes place? Before I start with that, there is very interesting statement about the honeybees, that honeybees have grandfathers but no fathers, and grandfathers, they have grandsons but no sons. Daughters in between would be there. So we are going to analyze what it means. Supposedly we have the parents, this is the male parent, it is having 16 chromosomes in haploid condition, and it has 32 chromosomes in 16 in haploid and 32 in diploid. So that means this one is a male and this one is a female. This could be a worker and this would be a drone. Now it undergoes mitosis and it forms the gamete, certainly, right? And this female undergoes meiosis. This would also form the gametes, right? This is what it means. Now there would be fertilization, and as a result of fertilization, a female would be born. When the fertilization takes place, a female would be born. But supposedly fertilization does not take place, then you are going to get a male again. Okay, by mitosis, there is no fertilization of the gamete formed by meiosis, then it is the male. Now you see, this is the male, this is the female. Let this be the parent, that is the grandfather is there, then this is the offspring. Okay, this is the daughter and it is not going to have any son. No male is born out of the male. Every time male forms the gamete, it is going to give rise to a female. This is what I meant. See, every time the male is forming a gamete, that would give rise to a female, because fertilization is bound to happen. And when fertilization would happen, it would give rise to a diploid individual. But at the same time, if meiosis has taken place in the female, it can parthenogenetically give rise to the male. So the male has a mother but no father. Alright, mother is giving rise to son, it is not having a father, rather it will have a grandfather to next generation that it produces. Okay, this would have been formed from the parent of this individual. Alright, so it has a grandfather. This male can trace back its generation to a grandfather because this 32 would be formed from union of one male and one female. So this happens to be the male parent, but that male parent is again not father but grandfather. So you get to know it is the diploid and haploid condition of the cell that determines whether it would be a male or a female honeybee. I am going to repeat it all over again. As I told you, half the number of chromosomes if present would be of male, and if complete diploid set is present, then it would be female. As you know, this complete diploid set can give rise to haploid gametes. So the female undergoes meiosis to form haploid gametes, but this being already haploid, it cannot undertake meiosis and form gametes. Rather, it forms gametes by mitosis only. On fertilization, these gametes unite to form the female, and those which do not unite, those which grow parthenogenetically, they form the males. And this is what you have to keep in mind when you study about sex determination in honeybees, why it is haplodiploid sex determination and why there is such distinction that workers and queens are diploid while the males are haploid. What happens in the case of sexual mechanism, that also you have to keep in mind. And if asked what it means that honeybees don't have fathers but they have grandfathers, and grandfathers don't have sons, they have grandsons, so you can very well quote this entire mechanism and get good marks if you are asked of it. This is of importance from examination point of view.